Hola amigas, welcome to my channel. I'm assuming that if you clicked on this video, you're either on a fitness journey or you're trying to start one. So excited to have you here, and I'm so proud of you for choosing a happier, healthier you. If you're new here, I'm Ellie. I went through a 40-pound weight loss journey, and I've been sharing most of the foods that I've been eating over on TikTok and Instagram. So if you're from TikTok or Instagram, hey girl, thank you so much for joining me on here. I've been trying to lose weight since I was like 14 or 15 years old, and you guys, I am 26 now, and just recently in like the last couple of years have I actually gotten it down. Listen, weight loss in itself is not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy, and there's a lot of information on the internet. Also, I'm 100% Mexican, and I know that in a Latino household, it can sometimes feel freaking impossible to lose weight. I mean, since I was 15, I was trying every single fad diet that you can think of, juice cleanses, soup diets, freaking weight loss pills. I had no business dabbling in weight loss pills at such a young age, okay? Fajas, all this crazy stuff. And it wasn't until I was tired of failing and I just finally went on a non-restrictive diet where I was just eating in a calorie deficit and eating higher protein foods, doing what worked for me and focusing more on consistency rather than perfection, that I finally dropped that weight. At my heaviest, I was like 178 pounds, and I don't even think that was my heaviest. That was just when I decided to weigh myself. I was probably in the 180s, and I was able to get down below 130 and into like the 120s by just focusing on my nutrition and doing a little bit of exercise, mainly walking and then some weightlifting at home. I'm gonna spill all the details on how I lost the weight and what approach I took. So I've been maintaining for a while now. Honestly, I had this newfound confidence and I'd never really felt good in my body, so I've just been enjoying my time maintaining my weight, enjoying feeling strong in my exercises. I even started going to like an actual real gym, which was a big step for me. I never thought I would, but I still have so many fitness goals to reach, and I want to bring you guys along with me. I know it's not easy, and sometimes you just need a really good support system and someone who's in it with you to be able to get through this. So I just want to share my journey and my experience and let you guys in on what the heck I'm doing so that maybe we can do this together. We're gonna get into the whole nutrition, the workouts, and all of that stuff. But first, let's check in and see what we're looking like. I'm gonna show you what I look like at the moment. Now, it's not the leanest that I've ever been, but it's definitely not the heaviest that I've ever been. And listen, it is hard to get on camera and not suck in and pose and try to look as perfect as I can. But like I said, I'm trying to be as real and as transparent as possible right now. And no matter how you feel about your body and no matter what you're thinking of yourself right now, I just want you to try to enjoy every single step of the process. Know that you are beautiful at whatever weight, even if you don't feel like it. And I want you to try to stop putting yourself down and stop saying negative things to yourself. I mean, would you look at a stranger on the street or one of your friends and say all the negative things you say about yourself to them? Probably not. We're our own harshest critics, and I just want you to remember that. Let's just try to be as kind as we can to ourselves, even though I know it's hard, because we deserve it. So when I hopped on the scale, I saw a number that was a lot higher than what I had seen in the past few months. Honestly, guys, it's just been the holidays. I've been eating good. I've been eating tamales, mashed potatoes, pumpkin pie, everything that you can think of. I've been eating it. Usually when I start a new weight loss phase, I don't even bother weighing myself porque esa pesa es traicionera. It can literally lie to you. It'll tell you that you gained weight overnight, and trust me, it's not real weight. A lot of the time we are holding on to water weight, especially if you've been enjoying lots of different kinds of food lately. If you've been having a hard workout, your muscles retain water. There are so many factors for the scale that honestly, I take it as a data point, but I don't take it as an end all be all. I'm going to be trying to focus mostly on progress pictures. Now, I did take some measurements and I'm going to share them with you here, but I'm going to be honest, I'm not the best at taking measurements, so take these with a grain of salt. But like I said, mostly progress pictures is what I'm going to be basing myself off of. However, I am going to be checking in and showing you my weight and my measurements, maybe my weight every week and my measurements every month, just so that we can have that data point. Let's get into my game plan for losing this weight. When it comes down to it, calories in versus calories out and being in a calorie deficit is really what's going to make you lose that weight. All these diets that promise you super fast weight loss, they're either cutting out all your carbs so you're losing a ton of water weight, or they're having you eat in a calorie deficit already. So in reality, you really don't need to follow any specific diet in order to lose weight. Before we get started with any of this, you guys, I am not a personal trainer. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a dietitian. This is just my experience and years of not only research, but trial and error. You don't necessarily have to count calories when eating in a calorie deficit, but it's very helpful if you have a positive relationship with counting your calories. I know for a lot of people, it could be really toxic and it can lead them into like a negative headspace. I am going to be talking about calorie counting and macro counting just because it's worked for me in the past. And actually, I found that when I started counting calories and I started looking into how much protein I was eating, I developed a little bit of a better relationship with food, because I always thought that to lose weight, I had to cut out all carbs. Carbs were the enemy. And there was even rumors going around that too much protein would make you gain weight and be bulky. And I thought it was going to be impossible because that meant that I was going to have to cut out all the foods that I was used to eating as a Latina. Now that wasn't gonna happen. I was like, okay, I can actually do this, because if I just focus on eating X amount of calories and getting enough protein in, then I can have a little bit more wiggle room with my diet. And that's exactly what I did, and that's the only thing that worked for me. I use an online TDEE calculator, which basically tells you your calories that you need to maintain your body, and I just subtracted like 200, 300 from that, and then adjusted as I went based on the results that I was seeing and how my body was responding. Those calculators will also give you your BMR though, and your BMR is what your body just burns while you're just laying there not doing anything. So make sure you're not basing it off of that. You want to look for your TDEE. So for the first couple of weeks, I might lose weight and I might not. I'm going to be taking that number and I'm going to be subtracting 200 to 300 calories from that and trying to be as accurate as I can in order to see what my new maintenance is now that I'm at a little bit of a different weight than I was before. No se enojen conmigo, but I'm not going to be sharing my exact macros because we are totally different people, okay? I am 5'1", I work from home, so I'm sitting down all day and the only exercise that I get is my intentional exercise. And if someone is, for example, like 5'8", starting their journey at like 250 pounds and has a really active job, we're going to have completely different needs. It's super important to trial and error this for yourself and take your time to really figure out what your body needs and what works for you. Now, like I said, I'm really only going to be focusing on my calorie intake and my protein intake. My personal protein goal is going to be to try to get more than 100 grams of protein a day. Ideally, 1 gram of protein per pound of like my goal body weight. Not that I have one. Definitely want to be over 100 grams of protein a day. Now, like we said, we are not cutting anything out around here. Yes, I'm eating tortillas. Yes, I could eat pan dulce if I want to. But of course, I'm going to be trying to focus on getting as much nutrient-dense food in as I can. The only way I was able to stay consistent in the past, though, was to include those foods that I really liked in moderation, factor them into my macros, and find ways to make healthier swaps or healthier alternatives to help me reach my goals, but also to not feel super restrictive, because that always leads me in a binge. All right, let's talk about my plan for exercise. Now, I'm gonna be real honest. The first like 10 to 15 pounds that I lost, I wasn't working out at all. I was doing a little bit of walking and my job required a lot of walking. So that's pretty much all that I was doing. I was focusing in on my nutrition. And let me tell you, you can do a lot with just your nutrition. You can probably lose all the weight that you want to in just your nutrition. Now, is that ideal? Probably not, because of course you want to get your body moving, you want to feel good. Now, if we have similar body goals and we want to look like lean and toned, we're gonna need a little bit of muscle. And to get a little bit of muscle, you want some resistance training in there. When I started, I totally just did YouTube videos, but you don't need any equipment or very minimal equipment like a mat and some resistance bands. Just get started, get your body moving. I built myself a little home gym and I'll give you more deets on that. But if you want to get into some weightlifting, a pair of adjustable dumbbells is going to be your best friend. I'm going to go ahead and link mine because I freaking love them. But I can't stress enough that finding something that you enjoy is going to be the key. If you don't like running, don't force yourself to run. Don't put that in your plan. Girl, I never ran a day in my life, okay? I really want to. That's one of my goals. I need to get better at my cardio. So I'm going to be doing that about 4 times a week. I'm going to have 2 upper body days and 2 lower body days. I'm going to try to get cardio in about 4 to 5 times a week, but just something simple, nothing crazy, maybe some jump rope or some jogging here and there. Let's talk about water intake, because I am horrible at drinking water. Diet Coke basically runs through my veins. Dang, I don't have it with me, but my Hydro Jug saves my freaking life when it comes to staying hydrated. They're like 62 ounces or 64 ounces. I'm going to try to get like 1 to 2 of those down a day. I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm going to try my best. I'm going to talk about supplements in a different video. Just as a little side note, I know you're going to hear a lot about supplements while you're starting your fitness journey. You do not need anything. Supplements can definitely be really useful, but that is all that they are. They're just there to supplement you, so they're not necessary. So don't feel like you have to go spending hundreds of dollars on stuff a month, but I will be sharing more about that in a future video. All right, you guys, I think that's it. That's literally all I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be focusing on my nutrition, eating in a calorie deficit, eating as much protein as I can, drinking as much water as I can, doing about 4 sessions a week at the gym. I'm keeping it simple, seeing how my body reacts, and I'm going to be sharing it all with you guys. And just to close this off, I just want to say that if you're starting a fitness journey, I know how hard it can be, and I remember how desperate I felt when I was just starting this. I was looking up all kinds of videos to see how I could lose weight the fastest, and in reality, a lot of that stuff is just not healthy or sustainable. I want to do my best to share my journey with you, and I would love to support you on yours, so comment down below and let me know what your plans are if you're starting a fitness journey or if you're already on one. Drop your social handles below. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I'm so excited to see what the future holds for us.